Okay, so there's many, uh, many levels of in advising that I'm going to just talk about um, just one thing today, and give you a couple of different videos, but not video, but recording here. But today I just want to talk about one of them, which is one advising thing I always had done, which is 6 checklists for successful graduation. So I just go over that, and this would be very important, actually, thing that they should know. And if you have that in the app for what you're working on, it will really help everyone. So this is more about overall or the graduation for actually apply to everyone, not just the art major. So okay, or graphic design major. Okay, so first thing is total credit. Okay, in order for all the students at Saginaw Valley to graduate, you have to have at least 124 credit. So that is that apply to everyone. And the only exception is that if you have are trying to earn the second degree, then you don't need to have 124. You just have to uh, 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 um, satisfy your major for the second degree, but not for somebody who comes in as a freshman or transfer students. Okay, so that is the first thing that the student should be able to check and see if they have at least 124 or how far are they from earning at least 124 credit. That's total. Okay, then your GPA has to be 2.0 or higher, and if you don't have 2.0, you're gonna go into the probation, and you have to make it better. And then you go into probation, and if you still don't have a 2.0, then you could be you may have to leave school for a semester. I think I'm not really sure the detail on that, but again, you have to have a 2.0 to graduate. So, and you have to have a 2.0 to stay. Um, so, okay, number three, the all general education category 1 through 10, are they done with it? Um, uh, this is important and it applies to everybody. And so you got to go through all the each category and each general education, make sure they all are satisfied. Okay, and before that, even basic skills. When you come to Saginaw Valley, they not everybody, but most of the students have to take a test. Some of you who may have a good high school GPA, they may waive it, but many of the students have to take a basic skill test, and then you have to take basic skill courses like math or 81 or 82. So make sure you satisfy that. Then within that general education courses, CI requirement, communication intensive requirement must be satisfied, and that's a two courses. It can has to be communication intensive courses in all general education courses. Within general education courses, at least two. Okay. Then number four is the 42 credit requirement of the 300 400 level courses. Now, this include everything you take, all the courses you take for major or minor. Now, Gen Ed are not 300 400 level. They may have a couple, but if it happen to be, that's great. But I think most of the, if it's not all Gen Ed courses, 100 and 200 level courses, and especially certainly basic skill courses are not. So 42 credit or more you have to have and a 304 level courses. And this is a really difficult one for the students who are transferred from other community colleges, for example, community colleges, because none of the community colleges are offer 300 400 level courses, and if the courses transfer, they don't transfer to 300 400, except for very few exceptions. So this is something that you have to you you want to say something about, especially the transfer students pay attention to this, because in a major, usually I don't know, 20 24 credit is the 304 level courses, and minor you may take I don't know some, but that would be about 30 34. You can't really have a 40 just having major and minor courses, so you got to take more than that to get this part satisfied. And this is the hardest actually thing to remember for many students, and many students don't know about it. So and this applies to every single student at Saginaw Valley. Okay, so you want to make sure that today you check on this, and don't forget. I cannot tell you how many times the students don't know about this, and when it's time for graduation, they get surprised. Now this fourth thing I just talked about, one, two, three, four. These are actually approved, or the reviewed and approved by the registrar's office, reviewed and approved by academic advising office. So I, even though our department chair or the faculty can help you on these, okay, and I certainly have helped many students on this, but it's at the end it's not approved by the department, it's approved by the administration, which means you or all the students should check with with the advising center. Okay, make appointment. Academic advising people should check this, and check number two, check number three, especially if you've taken basic skill, make sure you have enough, and check four, and talk to them and ask them uh, 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 if there's anything missing, how many more credit, what would they recommend. For example, category four. I, as the chair of the department, or don't know which one is the best for you, or category six, category seven. There's so many different categories that I certainly cannot talk about sociology courses, which is the which is the course that you'll be interested in, or math, or English. Which course would you think you'll be interested in? That kind of question you have to ask the academic advisors, and these are the advisors that advises all the majors, not just art majors. Okay, so it's critical that you go talk to them and go through these general education categories, basic skills, and even CI, communication intensive CI requirement, and make sure that the students take the course that they would enjoy, they can learn from, that's something they're interested in. And that's one of the key for being successful students. Taking course that you hate, you may not be good at, and you just don't want to do that. So again, these four. Then fifth one is a major requirement. This is when the I can talk more about that later in later videos. And if you're a graphic design major, you have to have 51 credit at least, and art major 51, and the if you're a BFA, you have to have 82 and all that. So this is I will talk more about that now. One thing I should perhaps mention is that you got you gotta know the difference between major and the degree. Okay, degree means Bachelor of Art. That's your degree, Bachelor of Arts. That's what many of you have, BA. And what's your major? Graphic design. So, correct title of your degree is I have a Bachelor of Arts degree. What's your major? Graphic design. So, what is the like a BFA? What is the correct terminology for BFA? Your degree is a fine art, Bachelor of Fine Art. Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Art is your degree. Major could be photography, printmaking, ceramic, graphic design. So that's your major. How about a visual art education? The degree is BA, Bachelor of Art. Major, visual art education. Art major usually means Bachelor of Art degree and art major. Okay, so uh, um, just make sure a lot of people get confused on that. The fine art major, there isn't such a thing. Fine art degree, yes, Bachelor of Fine Art, BFA. So when you go to graduation, BFA is separate from BA. Okay, because BA could be English, Bachelor of Art. If you're English major, your Bachelor of Art degree, same as art major or graphic design major. Okay, so BA is all listed as one: sociology, philosophy, uh, um, you know, English, history. They all BA, but BFA is separate because BFA is separate degree, fine art degree. So just want to make sure everybody know what you're getting into. Okay, okay. The minor requirement. Okay, people who has Bachelor of Arts degree almost always require to have a minor to graduate. For example, art major have to have a minor. Graphic design major must have a minor. But interestingly, visual art education, even though it's a BA, doesn't have to have a minor. The reason is visual art education majors BA requires them to take College of Education certification, and by the time they take both, it'll be over 90 credit. So with the Gen Ed, they'll be going over 124 anyway. So this is why you don't need that. Now BFA is the same kind of thing. Bachelor of Fine Art is 82 credit just by the majors. Therefore, do not need any minor. But almost all of you will listen to this graphic design major and art major. Therefore, you need minor to graduate. And one thing I wrote here: no double counting any courses with your major courses. And we can go over that later more. But when you graphic design major, for example, and if you decide to be art minor, which is a most popular minor for graphic design major, that you cannot count the courses that you count for major or minor. For example, art minor, you have to have a 2D, 3D intro drawing. Well, you have to have a 2D, 3D intro drawing for graphic design major too, which means you cannot double count those things for your minor. If you're English major, 2D, 3D intro drawing for art minor counts, but not when you're graphic design major. Make sure you understand that, and I explain more about that later. Okay. Now this is kind of long enough, so we'll talk more.